Welcome back to Life, Love, and Real Estate. As always, I am Dee Palm. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe wherever you're hearing us, wherever being part of your day. Be that on Spotify, be that on iTunes, be that on YouTube. That's right, we're on YouTube. Check us out. So glad to be joining you. And of course, I've got with me my much better pod half, LaCressa Morrow. LaCressa, how's it going?
Hi, it's going. It's been a year, so I'm looking forward to the new one.
It's truly been a year. That is an understatement of the century. Are you one of those people? I realize that I'm changing, and that's always a weird kind of realization. How is your relationship with the holidays in general? Just kind of not, just kind of 30,000 foot view.
Ooh, so it's always been like family filled. Like I've always spent Christmas with my family, like my mom, my sisters,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
dad, that kind of thing. So life has changed, right? So every year is different. My mom used to be really festive and like she loved decorating, and we woke up to I always drove home like Christmas Eve, and we woke up to Temptation, Silent
Right
Night,
on.
and all of that stuff. But since then, my dad has passed, my mom has dementia, so things are just different. So now it's friends and quiet. So
I hear that. I hear that. I didn't grow up like surrounded by. So grew up in Atlanta. My mother's from Mississippi. My dad's from Gary, Indiana. So we didn't have a lot of immediate family. So for us, Christmas Day was always small, quiet, intimate, like just me and the immediate family. And we always a Palmer family movie. We go to a movie in the afternoon and we'd argue
oh,
about the movie. And I think my little brother killed it when he took us to see Dreamgirls. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't know. I think that was the breaking point. But um, what's been interesting, kind of having Matthew in my life, has been the recalibration of what Christmas means because
yeah.
he means so much to so many people. So, like Christmas Eve, we went down to Lake St. Clair where Susan's grandmother lives. Matthew calls her Super Graham. And we got to spend the day with Super Graham and Susan's parents. And so we're just like, it's like 80 degrees outside. We're kicking the soccer ball. He's opening presents. It's a fantastic, fantastic day. And then Christmas morning, we woke up in our own home. He's a toddler, so we can't trust him. So the night before, all Christmas, there's been no presents under the tree. Just can't be
Oh,
trusted. And so he went to bed Christmas Eve night and woke up to presents and the train going, and it was very much like, okay, I remember the magic of it. It's a cliche, but it truly made me remember, like, oh, this is why I loved Christmas growing up. And then we took him over to my parents. We got to hang out with my brother and his boyfriend and my parents, and we had dinner there. And it was just such a complete. And then Saturday went over to his Susan's sister's place and hung out with all his cousins, and watching him go from like last year being barely walking, this year like playing soccer with his big cousins who are like 6 and 10, and like they're all running around in the backyard. It's just wow. It is evolved for me as a holiday as the focus has left me. I think it's been really helpful.
no, that's really sweet. Like being surrounded by kids is lovely. I went over and saw my godson open up presents, and his excitement and everything was just really, really sweet. So it was a great way to bring in the day. And then I had a very quiet afternoon and ended with some Korean barbecue. So
Ooh, I'm a little
I know
jealous
it
now. I'm a
was
little jealous.
delicious.
I had, of course, the traditional black Southern
Yeah, all
Christmas
the
dinner,
I know, but
macaroni
then
and cheese and collard
you
greens and
for
everything.
years, and so you have like three soul food black dinners in a row from Thanksgiving to Christmas to New Year's. So I have to have a break in between there because I'm going to do all the things for
That
New
is
Year's.
very smart and probably wise. But I am, probably very excited for this coming Thursday. I'm not going to lie to you.
Mhm.
Um, so end of the year, new year, same old us, kind of, but like obviously
Yeah.
stepping forward, evolving, growing within that space. How do you feel like? What is your kind of outlook? What are you taking forward into 2026? For me, mine is upgrading in everything that I do and continuing to pour into myself, and kind of like we talk about sales, we talk about kind of our jobs and how we do it. I'm good at my job, and I want to continue to get better, and I want to continue incorporating things as I learn them. And like, you're never going to learn a thing and be like, I've recreated my entire self from the beginning. Like, that's never going to happen. But what you can do is take pieces of the things you're learning from people you're learning from, fold them into what you already do to enhance the processes, or maybe change or maybe evolve them in ways that are going to be more advantageous. So that's kind of what I'm really focused on for 2026. That's what I'm excited about. I've got
Mhm.
some new opportunities coming forward me in the first quarter that I think could be really really good for me. And as far as growing, continuing to grow in my business and continue to grow in my skill sets around my business. So I'm excited, obviously, for that. Is there anything kind of on the immediate horizon or the midterm horizon that's got you kind of geared up for the beginning of 26?
Yeah, 26 is just going to be different. So I am like a word person for the new year,
Right on.
versus like resolution, because I don't be sticking to resolutions. So mine is more of like a word. So 25 was patience, and God knows I was had to learn patience in so many ways, and value. So for 25, it was like me standing in my value, owning my value,
Mm,
like in all ways. So for 26, from learning those things, I now am it's leverage, alignment, and discipline. So those are my
I love
26.
it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love it.
looking forward to stepping out of my box and getting scared and uncomfortable and learning new skills and eliminating eliminating my limiting beliefs. So that's what it is. Leveling up.
I love that. I love that. And I love that. I think that that's really cool that we both kind of landed in that same place of we've
Mhm.
got a good foundation. We want to continue to grow what we've got. And I think that
Yeah.
this podcast for me, I don't know about it for you, I can speak for myself, has been one of those things that even if it's like twice a month, almost it's almost like mentor coaching. Like I feel like talking to you about these things and having this space where we can be kind of reflective, but also kind of obviously advertising what we do for people and how we can help people, but also reflecting on ourselves and like our journeys and how it's reflected and how it's presenting to the world. I think that that's been really this has been really cool and helpful for me. So thank you for that. But
Yeah.
I am wearing my last. It's the last day I can wear my seasonally appropriate Merry Christmas Shoddy hoodie. It is very silly, but it's something I like to wear in December's. But that means I want to give our listeners, viewers, whoever they may be, hi mom, a gift as we head into the new year, and kind of talk about the next thing and kind of talk about how you can be ready for the next thing. And one of the things I always preach to my existing clients, and it's outreach, and it's something I like to talk about is when's the last time you did a mortgage checkup? When's the last time you said, "Hey, what's not just saying, "Oh, is my interest rate higher than it could be?" That's the very beginning. Are you maximizing your tax benefits? Are you setting aside money for future savings? Do you have a 7-year plan on your home? Is there a way to get out of your mortgage faster? Can we look at lowering the term? What can we do to make your life easier? Do you have outstanding debt in other places? How do we exercise the equity you've earned in your home to make your life easier? Might your interest rate go up? Yeah. But might we wipe out thousands of other bills a month? That can happen too. And so that's why I always talk to my existing clients about financial well being and kind of as the year starts to kind of, you've got that take a breath moment, utilize it for more than just breathing. Take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and just look at your mortgage statement. When's the last time you analyzed the money that was going out on your largest expense, which is probably going to be your mortgage? How can you use that mortgage to help pay down other things? That's kind of the money nerd, boring kind of finance guy. Look at like existing homeowners. What do you say? Because yours is something that every time you give one of these, like I feel like I'm telling people things that they know already. I feel like with you, I end up taking notes, being like, oh, I should probably check that. And that's okay. That's in my house too. I haven't looked at that in weeks. Okay, thank you. So I now cede the floor to someone who can actually help me.
So I would say I would be a little bit, I get a little bit more basic than you do. Like I love how big picture you are. And then I like to get a little bit more just down to the basics. So, I mean, 25 was rough, right? In all kinds of
Mm-hmm.
ways. And everybody we talk about, it was not the easiest year for everyone. So they're more than likely for many of us, our finances are not where we wanted them to be. We could have gotten behind on things, whether it's credit card payments or maybe a little bit late on paying our mortgage, but we still paid it. And so, number one, just be thankful that you got through it, right? So as you're thinking about the new year, give yourself some grace because last year was hard, and just think about the steps that you need to do in order to get where you need to be. So, if you need to get your bank account straightened up first, check on that. If you are behind on your credit cards, get that in order. Once you get those minor steps in order and rebound, because we all have the ability to rebound, it might take
Right.
you 30 days, it might take you 90 days. Then, if you're an existing homeowner, you can tap into your equity, but you have to get some steps in place first. If you are not a homeowner just yet, maybe right before you reach out to the mortgage person, as you are going to, you also know that there are things that we have to do, right? Everybody knows the things that they need to do. So take care of those things first, and that will relieve so much anxiety for you to be able to take the next step. A lot of times it's hard for us to take the next step because we haven't done the things that we need to do in the first place in order to get to the next step. And because we haven't done those minor things, then we think that the task or the goal is never going to happen. But we all have to put the first steps in place. So think about what those steps are, and give yourself some grace, and just be thankful that we made it through this tough year, alive and well, and knowing that next year can be better. You just have to just rebound a bit.
I love that because it's been kind of a downtime, kind of kind of end of the year. My dreams are now inventing new ways to give me stress. So I recently had the you're in class and you didn't study for the test stream, and I feel like you're
Oh, yeah.
talking about like making sure you've done the studying, like making sure you've done the work. Like I think that's so important. Like make sure you've done that internal work to say, am I in the position to where I feel confident asking the next question? And I think that's so important because you're right. I do like to rush to the bigger picture things, but if you're not standing in a place where you feel confident in of yourself, then no one. I can't give you a program. LaCressa can't find you a perfect house until you've made yourself ready to make those steps. We're willing to walk with you, but we can't drag you. It doesn't go well for anyone if we have to drag you. You know,
Yeah, it's not our dream. It's your dream.
right?
We're here to help you facilitate that dream, to make that dream into a reality. But, everyone has dreams. What makes it an actual reality is the steps that you take. And you have to step outside of your box, and you have to be also honest with yourself, right? About what you can do right now to get you to what you want to do later. Right. But it all starts with some type of step. So, what is the first step you need to do in order to get to that goal? And it could be clean up your credit. It could be I need to get about 60 days away from some insufficient funds. It could be I need to pay my taxes. It could be a million different things, right? Whatever that is for you, just for the new year, just take the next step. Just take the next step. And the next step will lead to the next step and the next step. And, even if you're scared, you can still walk forward, and do it. You can do it while scared. So that's what I'm saying for 26. Do it while scared.
Do it while scared. If you are self-employed out there and you're thinking to yourself, my taxes are too complicated to buy a house, stop thinking that way. It's a limit. One of the things with LaCressa as your friend, you hear phrases like eliminate limiting language in your life. And you try to really LaCressa, that's something that's in our house now. Like that's like, hey, we don't talk about ourselves that way, or we don't say that thing. Like
Yeah.
we're super cognizant of how we talk about ourselves and our successes and our failures, particularly in front of the kid, but even just kind of the language that we use within ourselves in this house. Like that's something I've definitely picked up from you. But eliminate that, guys. Like eliminate the reasons why not. Be a why person. Like why be someone who says, I can get this done and have the possibility to do it. And if you don't know, find the resources. Reach out to LaCressa or I. Reach out to people who do this for a living, not someone who says, "Oh, once upon a time I bought a house and here's how it went for me." Things change constantly in this situation, so make sure you've got people in your corner who are going to look out for you and look out for not just your transaction, but your plan for the next 3, 5, 7 years.
Absolutely. This is it's it's always like this is nervous laughter, right? Like cuz going into the new year
Yeah,
you get so like excited and things, and then the new year comes. So I'm just interested to see how this new year plays out. I'm
but
excited. I
I
am
love the way you look at it because
I,
you don't say resolutions. Because I'm like you, and I'm not a resolution type of person. I
no.
have things I want to focus on. Upgrade, like you said, my word is upgrade. But I do think you're right. That energy kind of permeates. It's kind of almost like a little static electricity in the air. It's like, okay, so we're here. We're back on the precipice of what the calendar has told us is the new beginning. It's
Well,
everyone
maybe
around you on the same.
things through your feed. I don't know. Okay, so everyone's feeds are different, right? Because it's all about algorithms. And so
Right.
mine is a lot of like leveling up and manifestation and this and that and all of those things. And so it's like it's in my brain. So I would
Yeah.
also say going into the new year that if you don't like what your life is right now and like the direction that it's heading, then look at what you consume, especially if you are a social media person. Look at what you consume, right?
Yeah.
Because it's interesting to see how this has nothing to do with real estate, but it can be about
No.
real estate. Like if your dream is to be a homeowner, or your dream is to be an investor, or your dream is to clear out your debt, follow people who will give you advice on that. Like you can set your algorithm, you can feed your brain, your soul, the information you need in order to help you create the change that you want. So I do a
100%.
lot of mental health and wellness. I do a lot of physical health and wellness, nutritional food, herbal remedies, things like that, because I just constantly want to feed that into myself. And now it's more of like growth mindset, wealth manifestation, but not just wealth and abundance of money, but just in
Right,
creating the
right.
life you want. So just be cognizant of what you're feeding yourself, mentally and socially, and who you surround yourself by. You know, if you've never been a homeowner in your life and your family has never been a homeowner, and so that it's hard for you to picture, then find some friends who are homeowners. Talk to them about their experience, right? It's going to be less scary if you surround yourself by the people who are doing the things that you want to do or you want to be.
Right.
Happy 26.
Happy 26. This has been a good one. Thank you, LaCressa. 20 episodes for the year. My goodness. Who they said it couldn't be
Yeah,
done? Who said
20.
it? Don't worry about
That's
it. You got to make up
wild.
haters sometimes.
I'm so excited to see how our community grows in 26. I know that we were
Hell
just
yeah.
getting our feet wet, and people are figuring us out, and there's a billion people in the world, so there's a good 100,000 or two that will find us, I feel, and join us on this ride. And I also say, and I just, Daniel doesn't realize I'm going to say this, but I'm looking forward to having some guests to talk about their experiences,
Yes.
and get some feedback from people who are actually in the moment, whether it's good stories or not so good stories. We want to hear lessons that are learned. I think we can all learn from each other. That's why we are here, so that you can learn from us. And we want to learn from you as well, because everybody has their own story.
100%. LaCressa, please tell everyone they can find you in the Atlanta area when they're looking for a home.
So, Metro Atlanta, Keller Williams in town, right across from Ponce City Market. So, LAC sells ATL, LaCressa Morrow. You can Google me. I said this many times before, but it will pop up in many ways. So,
Right on.
how about you,
And I am
sir?
Daniel Palmer. Make sure you head over to Daniel Palmer Mortgages to check if you're your first stop for anything you need, pre-approvals, looking at refinancing. Let's talk, have a conversation. The answer is never no. It's how do we get to yes. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey for the last 20 episodes. Big thank you to our producer, Annie, who's been with us for all 20 episodes and helps us manage all this. Even when I don't send links, she just like kindly nudges me and is like, Daniel, you're an idiot, which I appreciate.
And who's off to new
But
things, right? New things, new world, going to Texas. So we'll
it's
be
all
mentioning
new things, new world.
love.
We'll be checking in with her as she goes through that process as well. But
Yeah.
we're excited to be going to 26 with you guys listening and everyone pick up along the way. That was your show, guys. We'll be back in the new year with more life, love, and real estate. Have a great one.
Bye. Happy 26.